Hey ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name's Aiko. You saw the title, you know what we're doing today. Happy Thanksgiving to all of those who celebrate it out there. I am one who does, so I want to say happy Thanksgiving. I also want to shout out one of my last videos. We actually got Diamond on competitive rank. It's been a while since we got Diamond, so I finally got it. I want to shout out that video, get some love going on. It's a good one. And I also want to shout out the headphones that I'm wearing. Verizon Union organization that I'm a part of sent me a pair of these new headphones. These are the Rig 600 by Platronics, and they're really light, but they sound amazing, and I really enjoy them. They come with nice cables and even PC cables, which is really cool, and a boom for it as well. So thank you Horizon, thank you Kieran for sending these out to me. I like them a lot. And I know these aim videos of mine can get pretty repetitive. Don't mind my leaving warning there. I tried to get Ash a couple of times and they penalized me for leaving when I didn't get her. But I make a lot of aim videos like this, but they still are in high demand. A lot of my top comments are, please make a video for all your heroes. And I have in the past, but they have kind of changed, and Overwatch has came out with some new settings that are added to this video. But nonetheless, I do know that they're super repetitive, but you guys still like seeing them, so I'm still gonna keep making them. We're just gonna jump into it. I want to show you all my settings first, and we'll go by step by step, alright? And for those of you who don't know, anytime that I'm playing any game, especially a game that requires good aim, I will always be using a Control Freak on my aiming thumbstick, so that's the skull one there. I play with an Elite controller, but the Control Freaks have like a nice added length there, and it helps a lot with comfort and muscle memory. The actual thumbstick itself is a lot bigger, so the surface area of it, it all feels much more comfortable, and it's a lot easier to aim. I always play with those. Use code Aikable if you want 10% off any of them. These are my overall settings, so I'm just gonna go over, all of them to begin with, and then I'll show you all my other heroes specifically that are changed. Okay, so starting just by my settings that apply to all of my heroes. These are the basic settings that I apply to all the heroes that I don't personally tweak. This is the guideline that all of them are based off of. The sensitivity, as I say in most of my videos, is something that you probably want to change because that's something that is very based upon an individual. I like to play at about 45, but it changes per hero. So if you want to change that lower or higher, by all means do. My aim assist strength, I am pretty used to a high aim assist strength, especially from something like Call of Duty. It's just really strong, so I do play with a high aim assist strength. That's something you can tweak too if you want. I do recommend just having some of it on, but it's kind of up to you at that point. There are some settings that we'll get to that are really important that you don't change, but I'll let you know. The window size, again, I would say is something that you can change a little bit here. I want you guys to use these settings as at least a guideline, if not an exact template, because I think this is a great start. But I do think that some people might want to tweak some things individually, including the window size. I've turned mine down a little bit. So this is the newest aim setting right here, the aim assist legacy mode. This is the newest thing that Overwatch has put into their game. If you tap that little icon in the top right, it'll bring you to it. You can watch it after this one. So I play with legacy mode off. Legacy mode is the old system. So when you turn it on, you're back to what it was before. But if you're turning it off, that's the new thing here. That includes the aim assist ease in. That's something that we talk about in that video as well, if you're kind of wondering what it is. This, I say you can change as well. I don't think you necessarily have to have it on or off, but these are just the settings that I play with. I want you guys to play around with them. I mean, these settings are great, so try them out and go from there. So I play with it out at 20. That gives me still a lot of aim assist strength at 20. Because with this slider, the more that you have, the less aim assist you're gonna feel, which is explained in that video as well. If you watched my Ash settings video that was just posted most recently, I covered a lot of the similar topics, because a lot of the times you guys want me to make new versions of these videos. So aim smoothing is always at 0 for all of my heroes, because that's very important to me, because aim smoothing is weird. It's like a buffer zone. When you're making sharp and fast turns, there's like a buffer zone or like a delay almost. It smooths out the transition from looking in different directions quickly, and it just doesn't really correspond to where your thumbstick is, so I always turn it all the way down. Aim ease in is always I would say keep it around this number for sure. Having aim ease in at 0 means your aim is going to be very jittery if you play with linear ramp. I don't think you should be messing with aim ease in if you play with a different technique, because aim ease in was designed for linear ramp. So if this is at 0, your aim is really, really jittery, and it's kind of hard to make small adjustments because it kind of just jitters too far over, and having it too high makes it, do the opposite. It's pretty much set at 28, and that means it's gonna correspond with how your thumbstick is positioned. That number represents your thumbstick's position the most accurately, given the dead zones and stuff like that. It's super techie stuff, and it's really confusing, but that's why I'm here to help, right? So I want to show you guys my crosshair. This is the default crosshair that I use. You can just copy the numbers if you're wanting to check them out. And then everything below that is pretty much the same. I don't think I have changed anything else. But I will go ahead and review all my altered heroes. As you can see, like Bastion and Brig, they don't have an asterisk next to their name. That means their settings are these ones that we just reviewed, all right? And all the ones that have this little star are a little bit tweaked. So here's my Ana settings. I'll go over them really quickly because you mainly just want to see what numbers I have. Ana's turned down a little bit, and then I do have her aim ease in a lot higher because I thought her aim ease in was too jittery at 28. The crosshair I use for her is the same one, but something I always overlook in these videos is this section down here, the friendly aim assist strength, the nano boost sensitivity, and the scoped sensitivity. That's where that's at for me. The scope sensitivity is at 33. I feel like that represents a good slowed percentage of my normal sensitivity, because we do want the scoped to be a little bit slower so you can be more accurate. So I think 33 represents that pretty well. Ash, we just covered in the most recent video, like I said, but this is what she's playing at. Her aim assist was too strong for me, and I got a lot of comments saying, like, especially when you're trying to shoot her dynamite, enemies would often get in the way, and the aim assist would want to pull you towards them, not letting you hit the dynamite, and that was pretty annoying. Her crosshair is the same one. I don't really change my crosshair, only for like some heroes. But again, her zoom sensitivity is very important. I play with it at 28. I feel like that's a good percentage of slowdown on my regular sensitivity at 49. So we don't need to look at Bastion. We don't need to look at Brig. Diva isn't different either. You can see there's no asterisks next to any of these actual like settings here, but I do change one of her buttons. Like her crosshair should be the same. I do change some of her ability buttons here, and that's because I play with an elite controller. As you guys saw, like I play with all 4 paddles, so her abilities are kind of weird, and having one of the buttons mapped to B, since she can't crouch anyways in a mech, helps me kind of do all of her abilities at one time, like Matrix, rockets, and primary fire all at the same time, with that set to B, if you guys care about buttons. I don't know. Doomfist has a high sensitivity. None of these things are changed. Crosshair, not changed either. He doesn't have any settings down there either. So he's easy. He's just sensitivity. Genji, I think, is the same way. He's just got a higher sensitivity. Nothing down there for Genji. We'll scroll back up to Hanzo. We did a video on Hanzo specifically. We have different settings here for the sensitivity. Completely tweaked settings here. We have a different window size, lower window size, and lower strength. Very, very high aim assist ease in. He doesn't have anything here, but I do use just the same default crosshair. We don't need to look at Junkrat or Lucio, but we can look at McCree, who again I have done a video on. But I do kind of tweak my heroes a little bit more, even though I upload videos. So it's nice to do these every now and then because I do change them, and a lot of you guys like watching them when they get updated. It's nice to be able to update you guys with fresh settings. His sensitivity is really, really low. I don't know why they're different. I can just turn it up to 28, no big deal. That's that. He has a high aim ease in compared to my other heroes, and same crosshair with McCree. We don't need to look at Mei. Mercy, I don't think I changed either. Yeah, you can see there's nothing changed here, but I do change her buttons, and that's shown right now. Again, that's just like a paddle thing because sometimes it's really hard to hover, fly to someone, and heal or damage boost them all at the same time. But when I map, a button to one of my paddles, it's really helpful. Moira is no different. Neither is Rizafera, Reaper, Reinhardt. I don't think he's any different besides his sensitivity. I don't think he has any settings here that I changed at all. Doesn't really look like it. Here's a setting I've never even seen for Reinhardt. Movement relative to camera during barrier-free look. I don't really know what that is, but it's on. Roadhog, we don't change anything besides, I think we turn up his sensitivity a little bit. Same crosshair with Roadhog. Then we have Soldier, 76. His sensitivity is a lot lower. His aim ease in is a little bit lower. No other changes to him really there. Nothing for Sombra Sim, but we do have changes to Torb. We have his sensitivity changes. And then he has a circle reticle that we also play with that same one, or similar one at least, with Zenyatta. So nothing to Tracer, but we do have different Widow settings. Again, I've done a video on her, but I have changed them a little bit, and there's been updates that makes showing Widow again a lot more fresh. So she plays at a pretty slow sensitivity like my McCree does, high aim assist because we want that console aim assist, you know what I'm saying, as much as we can. And then, you know, aim ease in is a little bit higher. Her reticle is the same one I always have been using. Scope sensitivity is 42, grappling hook sensitivity is 100. 42 feels like a good one as well. And then Winston has no changes to him. Wrecking Ball has no changes. Sorry, it doesn't have any. But Zenyatta, of course, is near and dear to my heart. We have total custom settings for my boy. So we play at 34-34. We play at a lower aim assist strength because he's a projectile hero. Same with the window size, I believe that's a little bit lower than normal. And then his aim assist ease in is the same. I don't change that. 20 is a pretty good number for that. The aim assist ease in I think is a little bit lower because I think his jitteriness was fine. And then we do change his reticle is a little bit bigger than Torbjorn's, but it's not really a big deal. And then for the Harmony Orb, Sensitivity, and Discord Orb, both of those are at 100. Whew, we covered a lot. Now I know a lot of you guys use all sorts of different settings, and I get that. I see that so many comments about I use dual zone, I use this, and that's great. Perfect. You don't need to change them. But if you're looking for settings because you don't think that yours feels right, try these ones out because I think they'll help you. I want to remind you guys about the Control Freaks. Go ahead and pick some up. They are game changing. I'm not going to play you. Now there's a few videos you can watch next. The Climb to Diamond is a good one, and as well as I'll put a playlist for you guys to watch that'll include some of the settings explanations videos if you kind of want to binge watch through some of those and get up to speed with different Overwatch settings and just get a better understanding of how to aim better. Happy Thanksgiving again to all of you guys. I hope it's a good one. And another thank you to the Horizon Union for the headphones. I appreciate it. I think that wraps up the video. If I missed anything, let me know. Subscribe. I make a lot of videos like this on the channel. So if you're new here, consider subscribing so I can see you again in the next upload. I also live stream to Twitch. Those are a lot of fun. Might be live right now. Who knows? I'll see you guys then. My name's Aiko. Peace.